I started working on something and I thought I better actually stop and switch the camera on and share this, because I came up with a really beautiful mix. So I'll show it to you as it's slowly separating and granulating in this tray right here. You may have watched the previous video to that, or maybe not, I'm not sure. Maybe this video will come before this one. So anyhow, if it's not up yet, then it is coming very soon. But what I have done here is played with cerulean blues and sepia mixes to create these beautiful neutral blue toned grays. And I thought, what if I'm going to add a third color? I tried a couple of colors, they were okay, but there is one color that I tried and I really enjoyed it. So because I love turquoises and because I love these interesting greens for botanicals and turquoises for abstracts and whatnot, I added a green, but I added this green here, which is actually very close to the cerulean in this Roman Szmal's watercolor palette. So if you don't know what I'm talking about, it came in this packaging. I did a review which I'll try to link up here somewhere, and it's the 12 color set. Is it? No, it's the 14. Yes, it's a 14 color set. So that's the tallow green blue shade, however. So it's the PG7 here and cobalt cerulean blue PB36 and the Jackson's Warm Sepia, which is a PBK7 and PBR7. So those are the three colors I'm going to use, and I want to show you some really lovely mixes. So what I will do first of all is swatch these colors, and what I've done here is I have used two stamps from my stamp sets. So I've used this element here from the Color Theory, which by the way, they're still available. They're getting less and less now, but they're still available on my Etsy shop, Alyona Creates. Also, as a little update, I will be closing the shop for the end of August. I will be closing it on the 22nd of August, which is a Monday. That's the last trip I will be making to the post office. So if you want to order anything, do it then. Otherwise, it will be reopened in the beginning of September. So apart from this element, I have also used my color palette stamp set. So this element right here. And I'm going to play with them and create some interesting mixes. So first of all, I'm going to treat it like a color wheel and start with, let's see, what should I start with? It doesn't really matter, but yeah, I'll start with the green one right here. Not my favorite color as it comes out of the tube or out of the pan, but it's great for mixes. So that's that. Then we have the cerulean, the cobalt cerulean blue. So I start always with the double section for the first swatch. It's up to you how you do it, but that way you get even numbers in between the colors. So 4 in between. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then there is your next one here. Okay, I will then go ahead and do these colors, and then we'll return back. So essentially what I'm going to be doing is mixing between the two colors, and I will be adding a little bit of one or the other color, and that way we'll just have a range here. So I won't be doing a gradient or anything, I'll be just jumping and adding one color then another color. So first of all, let's swatch what we have here already. So you can see it's like a muted green. Then I will add a touch more of the cerulean, and it's looking a little bit more like a turquoise, muted turquoise. And then touch more of the cerulean, and that probably looks like a dirty cerulean. What I've done here is just I stamped two colors next to each other. So now this is becoming more turquoisey like, but leaning towards the green, and you can see the original color right here. So you can see it's a lovely turquoise. Also everything will be super granulating, and we'll get some surprise color separating properties as well. So if that's too green of a turquoise, just add more of the blue, and voila, we've got a perfect turquoise that's more natural. And then I'm going to start adding a little bit of the sepia just to tone things down, but a little touch at a time, because it does take things quickly to more muted side of things. So then I can go a bit heavy-handed now. Now let's see if we bring back the green into this, what will happen. Because keep in mind we have a lot of the sepia in there. Now this is a lot, way too much than I need. But let's see. Now this is a nice green. So sepia is quite useful to have in your palette to bring things more into neutrals and tone things down if you don't like a color, if it's too strong. Okay, and let's bring the cerulean back in for some more granulation. Because we have quite a bit of sepia in there, it's more of a deeper tone now. These are just a few mixes, but you could carry on and you could have quite a lot more. But for now, what I'm going to do is get a little bit more of the sepia for the mixing. My sepia is separating a lot today. Alright, so we'll start with the green and the blue mix. So usually you get a nice puddle of your first color. Then you go into cerulean and just add a little bit, but keep in mind phthalo, any phthalo is very strong, so you'll need quite a bit more of the cerulean than phthalo to counteract the color a little bit, which would not be the same case if you had another color here. These are some stunning, stunning, vibrant turquoises I'm getting. So if you like turquoises to be vibrant, these two colors are a good mix. So now we're just exploring the color slightly further. That's basically what we're doing. Just two colors at a time will give us a good idea of the mixes that you can achieve. All right, now we're going to move on to cerulean and sepia. So in this case, we're going to use a little bit, tiny bit of sepia because it's very strong and we don't want to immediately go very close to it. So just a little bit more here. So there we go. So I feel like I have too much water here, so I'm going to go back in and mix up a stronger pigmentation. So that's again similar to what we had, so a little bit more. So still very similar. So with cerulean you'll go through the color very quickly because it's doesn't last very long. Okay, let's try this one. It's a bit now darker. So if I don't want things to move into one another and change the color, I'm just going to dab it to kind of create a barrier between them. Oh, no, it's going back in. Okay, so again, I'm ending up with loads of water at this point, and I'm just going to start with sepia first, and then hopefully actually a bit more sepia, and then I'm going to go in with cerulean. You can see I already made quite a dent in this color just for swatches only. So this is a more grey toned color mix. It's a very stable grey, very nice. Okay, let's warm it up just a touch by adding a bit more of the sepia. So we're not quite in the sepia yet, but not the previous color anymore as well. You want the swatches to be slightly varied. Okay, now we're going to move in to the Taylor Green and sepia. So nice puddle of Taylor Green. Like that. Tiny bit to begin with. No, what we needed to do is the other way around. Anyway, we can start from here then. Tiny bit of, that wasn't enough, sepia. So you can see how lovely it changes it. It's not enough, so I'm just going to keep going until the change is more evident. Okay, so this is good. So we'll start from this side, and you can see it's more neutral. Kind of reminds me a bit of Hooker's green. And then touch more, and the greens will become very interesting now as they move through these two colors. So now this is gorgeous green, very neutral, nice and deep. And then a bit more. So this one is like a muddy green now. Oh no, I touched the whole thing. I think I'll just leave it rather than doing this. Okay, and last bit of sepia into this. So this is reminding me of a dirty olive green. So this time I'll try my best not to touch them. Okay, here we go. Beautiful saturated colors, and by dividing them into twos we can have a closer look. So I will wait for them to dry and then we will revisit. I was very tempted to use a heat tool to dry these, and then I stopped myself because I remembered that when you're working with granulating colors, it's actually advised against using any sort of drying tools because they blow these little particles that create a stunning granulation into, you know, certain direction and disturb it and change the look of it. So I thought while they're semi-dry, semi-wet, I will just show you the beautiful pigment separation and granulation that you can get. There's some stunning granulation in these green mixes, and that must be coming from sepia because I'm pretty sure the Taylor green doesn't granulate. So and then if you look at it, we have granulation in these mixes coming from cobalt blue, cerulean blue. Then I can't see actually much of granulation, but there is a bunch of pigment separation in these mixes, and that must be coming from both. And then we have the Taylor green, which is granulating over here. So these colors, the three colors together, give us such a beautiful color palette. You could work within this color palette, create an abstract painting or any other painting. I'm just saying as an example because that's what I tend to do. You could work on some beautiful botanicals. This would be quite a contemporary way to create greens with loads of these sort of mixes. And then, yeah, if you add more water, you can see you can get lighter shades. So these are quite saturated, and then you can get loads of lovely lighter shades, and you can see the color just moves from one to another beautifully and naturally. And if you create these blooms, then the granulation will surround those areas and even emphasize it more. So I hope you enjoyed this fun swatching video. I did for sure. Very useful to do these sort of exercises. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.